Welcome back, real nerds. It's time for some real talk. This is your host today for Scooter's Take, 18 August 2017. Scooter, a.k.a. Scott, a.k.a. It's Friday. Hope everybody's having a great Friday morning. It is 10:02 on Friday, 18 August 2017, and it is time for Scooter's Take of the day. We have some decent news today. Nothing too crazy, not a lot of it either, so I don't know if this episode will even make it to a half an hour, but we'll keep it trucking as long as we can. But some pretty decent news. It's Friday. Everybody's kind of tired. That's what I'm putting it off to, you know. But all in all, good Friday. I'm excited. We got Game of the Day coming here at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Bobby Law and myself. We're going to be playing Rocket League for about an hour. It's going to be sweet. Hope you guys come around. Excuse me. You know I always burp for this first show. I don't know why. It's probably the Red Bull. I love Red Bull, though. Oh, God. I got the hiccups, too, now. It's going to be a good day. That's how you know. It's good luck. But yeah, so we have some good news today. Make sure you guys check out Game of the Day today over at twitch.tv/Real Nerds Real Talk at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for some Rocket League action. And then we have another stream tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Tim Bear. Now, we have a new name for that show, but it will be released at that show. So make sure you guys come around to watch that show at 7 p.m. tonight, so you can figure out what the new name for the show is. It's pretty good. I like it. I do. So I hope you guys like it too. So I hope to see you guys later tonight. Anyways, let's get on with the daily nerdly news you need to know about. I got some on my phone and some on my laptop. All right. Let's start off with the good old Switch. Switch, you're failing me. Sometimes you just don't listen. All right, so if you don't know, now you know. But the Switch Online app. So there's actually, if you don't have a Switch or if you haven't heard, the Switch uses for basically it's like party chat and like things like that, like the Xbox would use and the PS4 would use, is built into an app on your phone. Now we'll get into whether or not I agree with this, which you're probably going to figure out very quickly my opinion on this matter. But there's an app that came out a couple months ago, like probably about a month or so ago, and it allows you to do party chat and some other cool things, like they have Splatnet on there, which is good for Splatoon 2. You can do like weapon stuff, and yeah, so it's cool. It's a nice little companion app, but the thing is, it's a wonky voice chat app, right? I have my two biggest problems with it is, one, it's named, well, if it was to name itself Nintendo Voice Chat, that'd be the same name as IGN's show, and two, it makes your phone think it's always on, like waiting for a phone call. So like an internet phone call, so like a VoIP call. So your phone kind of in this constant state of like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I need to answer this call that could be coming at some point from this Nintendo app. What should I do? So your phone just isn't. Yeah, whoever wrote the code for the app just didn't figure that out, and it's just wonky. Now this app has been wonky since day one. Now hopefully Nintendo gets a hold of this and fixes it, because I mean, they have a lot of multiplayer games coming out, and also are already out. Speaking of Splatoon 2 and ARMS, so they really need to up their game when it comes to this party chat, because in general, Nintendo is the only mainstream console that doesn't have an actual party chat. You know, as opposed to like Xbox, who has their Xbox party chat, and PS4, who has their group chat, their party chat as well. So they really need to set the game up, because they're kind of lagging behind here. And I know you can only use I'm Nintendo as an excuse for so long, and I love Nintendo, but you can only use like, oh, we're Nintendo, we don't need voice chat right away because we've never had it, and you guys still buy our stuff. Yeah, we buy your stuff because it's awesome, but you know, we still want support on the back end when it comes to voice chat, because I would love to be able to talk to somebody without having to use Discord. You know, like there are ways to get around not having an app, but for people who don't, if you want to go play a game with somebody who doesn't know about Discord or doesn't know about Skype, or like just doesn't like have like those apps installed or whatever, but you're like, oh yeah, you want to play Splatoon 2? Yeah, let's party up. You know, you can join each other's games or whatever, or become a party, but then you can't hear each other because you're like, oh well, you know, the app sucks, and I'm not really, you know, a nerd like that, so I really don't look into those kinds of things. So that's gonna suck for those people, and that's the thing is, that's the player base that Nintendo wants to hit anyways, because that's what the Wii hit. The Wii hit all the Nintendo fans because it was Nintendo, and it had great Nintendo games. But it also, the reason the Wii was so successful is because it hit that market that surrounded the video game market, the market of older people. Like, we're talking about like elderly, talking about like moms and dads who thought the Wii could be good for their health. You know, like, gimmicky or not, it works. So they're not really doing that great justice for that part. So Nintendo, please step your game up when it comes to this party chat app. Now, some people are asking for a separate app if they want to do it. A separate app for like Splatnet and like the Nintendo stuff, and then one just for voice chat. Because most people right now are like, oh, we like using the app for like Splatnet 2 and everything, but then it also comes with the whole problem with the cell phone audio issues and the volume control and the lack of multitasking. So it's always an option, but it doesn't really fix the problem. Red Bull. Next up, Crackdown 3. Now, this is a big Xbox One exclusive game, Crackdown. I actually played Crackdown 1, did not play Crackdown 2. The art style in the game is awesome. Good game, too. But Crackdown 3, if you haven't heard yet, has been pushed back from fall 2017. I believe it was like November timeframe it was going to come out. It has now been pushed back to an undesignated date in spring 2018 due to, and we kind of talked about this yesterday, for Pokemon RPG, right? The Pokemon RPG coming to the Switch, you know, the developers are taking their time. They're, you know, being more meticulous, making sure the story's good, blah, 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 because they know that there's a huge expectation thrown on that video game, especially with that name Pokemon. So this is the same thing. I mean, it's not as big as Pokemon. Crackdown will never be as big as Pokemon, but, you know, it has a large fan base, or a decently sized fan base. So apparently there's a lot of expectation for the game to be really, really good. And when they did their demo or unveiling, whatever, at E3, apparently there was a lot of complaints about the video or the audio or video quality, like pertaining to the graphics. They weren't like as up to date. They didn't look as nice. I'm guessing a little more of like a Mass Effect thing, you know, Andromeda, maybe a little worse. Who knows? So they decided to push back the date because they wanted to put more time in it and give people the game that they deserve. So this is an example, in my opinion, of a company doing good by their players, by their gamers, their customers. Now, I get it. You want your game as soon as possible, but I'd rather have a good game, you know, later than a crappy game sooner. I mean, look at Zelda. Zelda took 5 years to make. It was supposed to come out like 4 times. And it wasn't even supposed to come out on the Switch. It was supposed to come out on the Wii U, like exclusively. I mean, obviously it came on the Wii U, which was dumb, but it did. So, and Zelda's a great game. Like, whether you don't like Zelda or do like Zelda, you just, at a game standpoint, you know, you might not say it's a 10 out of 10, but Zelda is at least an 8 and above, which is a good game. Like, 8 and above is a great game. So, and they sold like 5 million copies. So, I mean, it's pretty decent, apparently. I like it. Stop hating on my game. All right. So this brings us into another thing. So Crackdown was an Xbox One exclusive game because it's an Xbox title, right? So there's this big issue with this generation of consoles where Xbox hasn't been bringing the exclusives to the table as much as Sony. Now, this isn't uncommon to most people because Sony just literally has a lot of exclusives now. Now, the thing is, this used to be the exact opposite. With the Xbox 360 generation and the PS3 generation, Xbox kind of dominated the market for a while because they had a plethora of exclusive game titles that made people want to buy an Xbox 360 because they could always play all the third-party games, but Xbox had all the good first-party games. You know, most people, for people who don't own the 2 big systems, they only own one of them. They're going to pick the system that usually makes more sense because of the games coming out for it, and usually because of price. So based off of price and video game availability due to, you know, exclusive titles, the Sony, just if you just look at it like that, Sony wins outright for the PS4 generation because they have literally all the exclusives for the most part. They have timed exclusives for video games, like even their DLC they'll get early. So I mean, like, Xbox has lost everything but Halo, basically, and Gears of War. Gears of War is washed out. People don't want to play it anymore, not as much as they used to. There's nothing great about it anymore. I mean, it's still a decent game, it's just not selling today, right? Halo's a good game, but Halo's kind of out of date now too. I mean, with games like Destiny and Call of Duty the way they are nowadays, there's not really much room for Halo, even though I hate to say it because I love the Halo franchise. I mean, mostly when Bungie had it, but, you know, it's just, you can just tell that even when they tried to update, the thing is, they did a good job, I think, with Halo 5. Like, for the multiplayer aspect, they did a decent job for it because, I mean, the microtransactions, don't get me started on that, but, you know, they kind of tried to make this, like, MOBA feel to it where you're, like, on a team. Like, you know, basically just turn an objective-based gaming into something that people are kind of associated with MOBAs. So, like, you know, taking towers and whatnot. But I liked that. I was like, you know, that's cool for you to try to do that. You know, it's obvious try to get into the, you know, esports version of that instead of just playing like Slayer or Team Slayer. So I appreciate their effort on that. But it's not relevant anymore, really. People are still going to play Halo when it comes out if they make a new one. But they're not really going to, like, it's not going to be that game that's just all over the internet, you know? I mean, I haven't seen a Halo 5 news article in I don't know how long. And the game is only, I think it's less than a year old, or it's a little more than a year old. Pretty sure it came out 2016, like fall 2016. Almost positive. So, I'll check it out, though. Because it was around the same time I got my Elite system. Because I had the Halo version of Xbox One. And then I traded that in for the Elite system, like barely a month later. But anyways, this brings up a big problem. So as of right now, the Xbox lineup for exclusive titles right now is Halo Wars 2, Forza 7, Cuphead, and Super Lucky's Tale. With an expected release of PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, coming to Xbox One first. We don't know if it's an exclusive, like as in PS4 will never get it, but we do know it is at least for now, it's a timed exclusive. Because PS4 isn't getting it yet, and Xbox One is. Now, there just hasn't been any talks about it coming over to the PS4 yet. That doesn't mean that they're against it, or either party. So, that could still be happening. Honestly, I think it would bring the Xbox One some seriously needed players. Because I'm sitting here waiting to play it. Like, I would go on my computer and play it, but personally, I'm like, okay, it's already been on PC for a couple months. I'm going to be behind. Probably gonna get smashed for a while. I mean, I could definitely like grind out, play, you know, a bunch, and then, you know, be good at the game for sure. Practice makes perfect. But I could also join a plethora of players who are playing for the first time on one system. So, being an Xbox One, even if you're a player on PC, yeah, you'll have an advantage if you come to Xbox because you'll know how the game works and whatever. But at the same time, we're kind of all gonna be fresh. So I'm sitting here anxiously waiting for PUBG to come to the Xbox One so that I can play it, especially with my buddies. I'm sure that they're going to love it. I'm sure Tim's going to love that game. It's just mayhem, and that's what he loves, mayhem. So, I think they really need this game. I mean, it's weird how an indie title like PUBG is such a big deal. And, like, you think about it, like, in the sense of, like, Rocket League. Like, Rocket League came out of nowhere, came out on the PS4 on their eShop, and it was free for for PlayStation Plus members. So, a bunch of us got it, obviously. Like, I was one of the ones who did it from PlayStation Plus, because that's, I mean, honestly, usually I go in every month, no matter what, and I add them in my library, even if I don't want them, just because, why not? But, you know, we all got it when I was over in Hawaii, and then we all tried it out. We're like, oh, you know, we always try the games out for the most part, especially the ones that look cool, and it was freaking cars with big engines with flames and a soccer ball. I mean, it's pretty enticing. And then the game just blew up from there. Like, it was like an explosion of Rocket League. So it was all over the internet I mean, it's still on the internet now. It's just that it was a huge deal on the internet when that game came out. And then it finally came over to Xbox One, and then it came over to PC, I believe, or it was already at PC. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it didn't just stop at PS4. It grew, and that's what I can kind of see PUBG doing. But at the same time, it would be good for Xbox One to get that win. Anyways, I've never heard of Cuphead or Super Lucky's Tale, but Xbox, fix your shit. You're getting smashed. And I'm an Xbox fan. I have a PS4 as well. I'm a Sony diehard, but I love both. I really do. But it's starting to get to that point where PS4 is like the only system you really need. But the thing is, I like Xbox Party System. I like they just have a good interface for the most part. I mean, PS4 is way cleaner, but I do like I should rephrase that. I don't like the Xbox One's new UI. The last one I loved. The new one's a little weird. but I'm getting used to it. All right. Next up, company is launching a Bluetooth fidget spinner for gaming to keep the trend alive. Now, fidget spinners are, I swear, I was waiting for them to go away because we all knew that fidget spinners were a fad. They were fun. I mean, everybody who used them looks like a total tool. So I was a total tool at one point. But I mean, I didn't like walk around and play with it. But those things, like, I'll be sitting in the car and just playing with my kids. Like, by the way, I'm a parent who's never bought his child a fidget spinner. Just pointing that out. Every fidget spinner in my household has been given to us. Just saying. Did not spend $1 on a goddamn fidget spinner. But my kid got one from her grandmother. So they're cool. I mean, they keep you busy. You know, it's fun, whatever. Nothing harmful about it. But I mean, I was waiting for it to die so I could stop hearing about it. And now a company wants to bring them back for fucking gaming as a Bluetooth fidget spinner. Like, come on, man. It's going to be like the next Fitbit, I swear to God. How many spins can you get in a day? You broke a record. This is now an esport. What happened? Fuck. Anyways. Moving on. Google is reportedly removing the Gab app, for violating hate speech policy. So I'm going to go on a little bit of a couple news articles about this subject. So we kind of cover this every day since the Charlottesville problem or a tragedy issue. I'm not sure what they're classifying it as. A fucking disaster, tragedy, fucking America gone bad for some reason. I mean, whatever you want to call it. But Gab is reportedly being taken down for violating hate speech policy from Google. And then continuing on with that, GoFundMe has raised nearly $1 million for the victims of Charlottesville. So hats off, GoFundMe. They also have banned neo-Nazis and white supremacists from their platform. That's awesome. Love, not hate. That's what I'm talking about. Next up on the same exact topic, basically, Uber says it will continue to ban white supremacists from its platform. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work. I mean, obviously, unless somebody's like, oh yeah, I'm a white supremacist or a Nazi, whatever. Right? Like, if they're just like, if they openly say it to you or whatever, if they have like a huge flag in their car and they're driving you around, that makes sense. But I mean, if they just look like because neo-Nazis and whatever, for the most part look like regular people, unless they have tattoos all over their bodies, right? But if this dude just looks like a regular dude and he happens to be a neo-Nazi and he says nothing about it, I mean, I like that you're taking a stance against it, Uber, but I would like to know, I mean, because I mean, what if somebody just didn't like their driver, and they were like, oh, he's a neo-Nazi. I mean, is somebody gonna lose their job because of because I mean, people can yell, cry wolf for a lot of things. Not saying white supremacy and neo-Nazi is bad, but how are you actually gonna crack down on it with your platform, basically? Because you're talking about an ideology. That's all. Next up, we're going to get some more lighthearted news, and by lighthearted I mean not so sad and depressing, but it also has to do with fighting. Not to make a joke, but Dissidia, I'm probably pronouncing this wrong because I think apparently this has been a thing and I've never heard about it. Dissidia, that's how I'm going to call it. Dissidia. Dissidia Final Fantasy NT release date has been announced, and the announced date will be January 30th, 2018. When it'll be released for the PlayStation 4 exclusively, because obviously Final Fantasy, right? I mean, Final Fantasy 15 did come to the Xbox One, but I don't know why you'd want to play on Xbox One. Just But multiple versions are available for pre-order, including a collector's edition, which is going to have an 8.25-inch Warrior of Light statue, a soundtrack, an 80-page art book, and steelbook case. It will also include a season pass, which will add 6 additional characters post-launch. The collector's edition is going to be $189.99. So $189.99, and it's going to be exclusively available from the Square Enix online store. So if you want the biggest experience possible and you want to give Square Enix a bunch of your money, go to their website and pre-order it. A Steelbook Brawler edition will also be available for $60 for anyone who wants to pre-order it. There will be, and will offer one of 3 case designs featuring characters from the series. So That's pretty cool. A digital deluxe edition featuring 5 songs and the season pass will also be available for $84.99. See, this is kind of weird. Why is a Steelbook edition $60 regular price for a video game? Maybe it's like a $40 game. No, it looks like it's a $60 game. Huh. All right. Well, Steelbook sounds cool. And then digital deluxe for $85. So that's like what, like $25 more for 5 songs and a season pass? I mean, I guess the season pass wouldn't be that bad for $25. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So this game is a 3v3 brawler style fighting game with Final Fantasy characters. Looks cool. I'm going to look into it a lot more as it gets closer to the release date. And we should be playing that game here when it comes out. So look out for that. So, actually, no. I'm going to leave this for the end. So, those who stick around or end up watching the end of the video on YouTube later, you guys get the cool news. So, it'll probably be in the title of the video, but anyways, I'll save this. I'm going to save the really good one for last. But, now, Yakuza 6, the Song of Life's release date announced. It has been announced for March 20th, 2018 for the countries North America, Europe, and Australia. It'll be priced at $89.99 in the US and $129.99 in Australia. Holy crap. Australia, I feel so bad for you guys. Everything's so goddamn expensive over there. Or at least it seems like it. Now, this will also offer an after-hours premium edition with a hardcover art book. And Sega's going to offer that up. 2 Ice Stones, 2 Tojo Clan coasters, and 2 glasses. So that's kind of cool. I've never played any of the Yakuza games, so if you're into that, go for that. Overwatch reporting is coming to consoles in the next update, and that will be, I think, 1.14, yeah. So the changes are going to be coming to patch 1.14 so that you can now, report players on console. So you can never report a player while you're on Xbox or PS4 unless you're just reporting their gamer tag, basically. So this allows you to report to Overwatch directly to Blizzard. So it's a good thing. It's probably a little later than it should have happened, but it's here. Thank you, Blizzard. Oh, excuse me. So many burps today. Tekken iOS and Android game coming to mobile. Not much to know about it. There is a trailer out, so go check it out. It's pretty cool. Looks interesting. Don't know much it has to say. Also don't know why we need a Tekken game on our phones. Stop it. I mean, I don't know. I like mobile games. It's just, I don't really use this phone for gaming. I mean, I do play Vainglory, and like, I don't know. Like sometimes I'll play like Flick Baseball, but that's like if I'm like really bored. I really don't play games on my phone, but because they're just really full of microtransactions. I mean, even Vainglory has microtransactions. It's like, oh my god, stop trying to get my money. And then they end up getting some of my money. Like even my wife, she plays like those Crush games, like the puzzles, like Candy Crush style games. I know she doesn't play just Candy Crush. It's like the other 10 versions of the same game. But like she even does, like, she gets caught up in like paying like $1 here, $1 there every once in a while, which isn't that bad. But sometimes, after if you kind of, I guess, out of a year, spend like $10 a month, that's $120 you didn't have because of fake money. But next up, we got Patty Jenkins. She is close to closing a historic Wonder Woman 2 deal for the studio to make Wonder Woman 2. So this is probably the best time, if any. The movie's doing well, or more than well, exceptionally well, financially wise. It had a great critique on it. It had like fans and people alike loved the movie for the most part. I mean, most people were at a pretty good consensus that the movie was a good movie, which I completely agree with. That was a great movie, except for like a handful of things, but they weren't things that like made the movie not good. So hopefully we see that, because that was, in my opinion, the first DC movie that was actually genuinely good. Batman versus Superman wasn't a bad movie. I think it gets a lot of crap, but it wasn't necessarily a bad movie in my opinion. I think it was more of a decent movie. It didn't do its job well, but it was still a movie that I appreciated watching, and all the characters in it. So we got 2 more things before I get to the big news, and we're probably going to hit 10:30 right on the dot. So Splatoon 2. has topped software sales for July 2017. This game is very, very popular, especially since it's Nintendo's own first-party shooter, basically. You know, you're not gonna be able to play Call of Duty on the Switch. I mean, you could if they put it on the Switch, but at this point right now, we use Switch, whatever. You don't get this kind of game, so you finally get a competitive shooting game on the Switch or a Nintendo system. It's gonna do well. Crash Bandicoot following close second, though. It's weird how great that game is. I mean, I love Crash Bandicoot, but that game is doing extremely well. The nostalgia factor in the world is just, it's like a boner, and it's like morning wood. That's what it is. It's like you kind of like it. You're like, oh, cool, I got one. But then at the same time, you're like, I really need to go somewhere. Can you go away? Because I can't just walk out, you know, with this morning wood thing going on here. So, last thing before the big one, Star Wars. Obi-Wan Kenobi is apparently going to be in his own standalone film. Now, this is reportedly in the works, not official. Apparently, there's going to be a standalone Obi-Wan Kenobi Star Wars film, but no actors, nothing, no director, nothing confirmed, nothing really rumored about, but the movie itself is being rumored to come out. Now, I want to know, is Ewan McGregor going to play Obi-Wan? Or at least whatever version of Obi-Wan's in the movie. I kind of hope so. I think he played a good Obi-Wan. He played a bad father. Good job, Ewan McGregor. You're the reason everybody dies. Just so you know, Obi-Wan. You're the reason. So, hopefully, they do make a movie. I would love another Star Wars movie. I mean, I guess you can say it's like the Disney thing. They just keep making movies and people keep just watching them. But the thing is, it's Star Wars, and if it's Star Wars, I have to watch it. So, it's not really a choice. If I don't do it, I'll probably die. It'll be like something in my body will eat me. But, on to the biggest news of the day. With 2 minutes left, we have something that has been announced before, but hasn't been talked about in a while, and I want to get the hype going again. So hashtag RNRT hype right here. First time hearing about it today, at least from my mouth. So that means it's definitely the first time, because I'm about to say it for the first time out loud. Pokemon Gold and Silver is going to be receiving a boxed re-release for 3DS. Let me just say that again. Pokemon Gold and Silver, not Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I'm talking about Gen 2 Game Boy Color Pokemon Gold and Silver receiving an actual boxed re-release. We're talking regular, like, it's going to be different because they have like a 3DS on there, so it's not going to look exactly like the old one, but it has the same cover art. It's just so glorious. I hate you, Nintendo. You're going to get more of my money, but I'm buying both these, and they're going on my 3DS. So, and basically what this is like, it's a box. We don't know what else is in it yet, but you're going to have this box, and you're also going to have a digital download code. So, kind of sucks you're not going to get a cartridge version, but at the same time, you're getting a box, and that's fucking awesome. So, hopefully it comes with a couple more things, cool doodads in there. Hopefully it's priced decently as well. Honestly, if it's priced more than $20, I'll be upset, being that the Gen 1 games are $10. So, please don't be more than $20. Honestly, like a $14.99 sell point would be, that'd be like doable. Like, all right, $15 for Gold and Silver. It's $30 for both. Get both boxes. This game, or these games, will be re-released on September 22nd. So make sure you check those out. That has been today's episode of Nerds at Night. I almost said Nerds at Night. That was last night's episode, or just morning's episode. That was awesome, by the way. If you haven't seen it yet, go to our YouTube channel. Check out Nerds at Night episode 4. It'll be up. It's actually not up yet. It'll be up probably in a couple hours. Go check it out. It was so much fun. We actually covered Pokemon. Talked about a bunch of nonsense. It was awesome. But this has been August 18, 2017's episode of Scooter's Take. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I hope you guys enjoyed the news. I love coming here each and every day, giving it to you. Now, a couple of house cleaning things real quick. Today was the last episode of Scooter's Take on the 10 o'clock to 10:30 timeline. Starting Monday, August 21st, everything was, not everything, but a couple of things are changing when it comes to time and duration. So make sure you check out the new schedule down below on the Twitch panels. But just to give you a quick little overlook, the next time you'll see me is tonight at 7 p.m. for, or no, sorry, not 7 p.m., 12:30 for Game of the Day with Bobby Law, and then again at 7 p.m. And then we'll have our Saturday usual day, our R&RT day, where we stream for like a bunch of hours, starting at 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. We haven't decided yet, so look out for that today. That'll definitely be decided by tonight. And then starting on Monday, August 21st, your first episode of the day will actually be 1 p.m. on Monday morning, or Monday during the afternoon, for Scooter's Take. Scooter's Take will now be from 1 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Thursday, not Friday, due to scheduling issues. I cannot do it on Friday. I'm sorry. But I'll make it up to you somehow. So 4 days a week, 1 p.m. to 1:30 every day. And then you have Game of the Day Tuesdays and Thursdays instead of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 11:30 to 12:30 with Bobby. And he'll be there for every Game of the Day. Now, that name is also might be changing. Nerds Night will stay where it's at for Fridays or Wednesdays and Fridays, 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. And then Saturday is going to change a little bit. We're also going to be announcing a new Destiny show coming when Destiny 2 releases. We'll be releasing that timeline shortly. I believe it's actually I think it's already on Twitch, but it's whatever. It's Destiny 2. We don't have a name for it yet, but it's going to be me and myself and Bayer, one of the other R&RT guys over in Hawaii. And we're going to be playing that from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays, starting September 10th. So make sure you guys get hyped for that. I love you guys. You guys are some awesome nerds. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Follow R&RT on Twitter. There's a bunch of information here on the page. Check out our YouTube. Go buy yourself a t-shirt on teespring.com/RNRT. Let me say that one more time because it sounded really messed up. teespring.com/RNRT. There's a sale for it's our first apparel sale ending Monday. Make sure you grab yourself some R&RT swag, a t-shirt, a sticker, a sweater for your mama. We love you and have a great day.